Good morning, friends. It's good to see you all today. Thank you for coming. Today, we wanted to continue to study the book on Mahayana 5 Skandhas. In this room, sometimes I see new friends' faces. So I always try to remind everyone those contents of 5 Skandhas. Do you know in Buddhism, Buddha always tries to teach us the facts, the truth about lives. And every one of us, we always feel myself is fixed. Myself is independent. Even though my body changes, but my soul doesn't change. So there is a kind of a fixed idea about I, about self. Because of this attachment, so people see each other. In case we love each other, we can be friends. How about we don't like each other? Then we are going to hate each other, fight with each other. Because of this attachment, you feel you are different from others. But somehow in Buddha's teaching, Buddha taught us in this world, including ourselves, this is the phenomenon of interdependency. That means the reason why we are here, why I'm here, this is the conditional existence. I depend on different kind of conditions in order to survive, in order to have so-called I, self. So Buddha asked every disciple to contemplate on himself or herself. By analysis on those categories, first you wanted to observe your body. When you observe your body, you discover that this is my body. My body needs air, oxygen. My body needs food, but I don't produce air, oxygen. I don't produce food unless I'm a farmer. Okay? I need clothes. I need houses. So just simply observe this body. We discover we depend on each other. We depend on all kinds of conditions. Right now, the air in the room is cooler. Somebody is working in a factory, generating the power for us. Later, we're going to drink water. None of us actually pumping the water, but we can have some water every day. And also, it changes all the time. Don't you see my hair is turning white? Great. Long time ago, my hair was black and full. Right now, I'm losing hair. I'm getting old. All the pictures that I see about myself from 1 year old until 63 today, those are I. But none of the picture actually represents myself at this moment. Is that right? Even you took a picture yesterday, today, when you compare yourself carefully, use those instruments carefully to check on every detail about your body, you are going to discover we changed. Today's I is not yesterday's I. Okay? Then our feelings, perceptions, mental formations, consciousness, those are 5 aggregates to form self, to form this I. So 5 skandhas, translate into English, 5 aggregates: body, feelings, perception, mental formation, and the consciousness. In Chinese, we say 色受想行识. And today, we are going to discuss the fourth skandha, that is mental formation. Because last time we already discussed the perception. Okay. Mental formation simply means activities in the mind. This activity actually directs us to be good or to be bad. So when we talk about mental formation, it's a mixed condition. Sometimes we use mental formation correctly. We can produce good karma to benefit ourselves, also others. In case we use mental formations in the wrong way, then we are going to produce negative karmas. So in this category, there are so many mental activities. According to the translation, there are 52 names for those activities. I think I may not be able to explain every one of it, so I try to select some contents I feel it's necessary for me to explain. Then I will introduce those activities, those names, those translations to you for mental formation. Mental formation, when you study the translation in Chinese, actually we use the word action, 行, 行动的行. So in Chinese, actually we use this word for this skandha, mental formation. That means when we reach this stage, actually you are producing actions already. Don't say, I'm just thinking, I'm not doing anything. In Buddhism, actually, when you reach the stage, when you reach the stage of mental formation, actually it's action already. And after you think in this way, Lin, I wanted to talk to you tomorrow, even I'm not doing anything. But this is one action in my mind already. This is the roots of action. Because I'm thinking in this way, even though right now I may not be able to talk to you, but somehow this mental formation is going to produce forces inside me. I have to find the way, I have to find the opportunity, I have to arrange a time to see Lin, to see someone I wanted to see. So in Buddhism we say, if you feel this is not right for you to do, for us to do, don't think about this. Never think about this. I wanted to hear somebody. That person is, I dislike. If you don't want to hit the person, never think on this. Because this mental formation, as long as you have this thinking process, then it's going to create forces in the future. So as a Buddhist, we watch ourselves, not just for action. What you do, actually we watch our mental action, mental activities, in order to purify ourselves. That's why today we wanted to study mental formations. Okay? We wanted to understand the contents. So during meditation, we can contemplate on those activities. Because every day there are a lot of activities going on in our minds. It's countless. Some are good, some are not good. During meditation, if I discover some mental formations are not beneficial, get rid of it. Eradicate those formations right away. You have to tell yourself, I don't want to keep those formations in my mind. I wanted to get rid of those thoughts. Okay? If some formations are beneficial, maintain those formations inside you. Okay, there are 5 unique mental formations in this portion. There are 52 mental formations, but today I wanted to introduce 5 very special, very unique. Each formation has its own characters. And also, during Dharma talks, we always use those terms to describe those activities. We use those terms all the time because these are very important for all practitioners. Okay? The first formation is desire. It's a common word. Do you have desires? Yes, we have desires. How about if you listen, some people, they will say, in Buddhism, we teach everyone to get rid of people's desires. I have heard this kind of teaching before. If you study Buddhism, it's important to get rid of desires. But somehow, after we carefully study the Buddha's teaching, we discover this kind of saying is partially right, not 100% right. Yeah. Because according to the teaching of Buddha, yeah, as a human being, we have desires. Some desires are good, but some desires are mixed. When we say some desires are good, that means we wanted to do something is going to produce positive consequence for us. For example, today I prepare myself. I wanted to come to Guanyin Hall to talk to you, to share what I have learned from this book. This is my desire. I wanted to teach. I wanted to share. I wanted to do my best to use English, to explain. In 1978, the reason for me to come to this country was I wanted to learn English, to translate the sutra into modern language. At the time, I thought I'm going to use Chinese only, but I wanted to read English materials in order to help the translation. So I hope I can accomplish something. I wanted to translate the sutra. We consider this a good desire, good desire. Today, I have something I wanted to share with you. A while ago, you asked me, Venerable Hangyi, do you need water? I can give you some water. Thank you so much. That is goodwill, good wishes. So in Buddhism, actually, we have another name, another term to describe desire, good desire. 善法欲. You are looking, you are hoping for accomplish good deeds. Okay. And 善法欲. Okay. Okay. These are good desires. Another kind of a desire is mixed desires. Mixed. That means this kind of desire can be good, can be bad. Not long ago, I talked to our youth group. I asked them, do you want to have ice cream? Okay. Yes, we like ice cream. Okay, if we say we eat ice cream once a week, that's okay, is right? That's okay for normal people. Once a week, that's okay. Perhaps once a day for some people is still okay. How about some kids? They like to eat ice cream 3 times a day. That's too much. That's too much. In the morning, I need ice cream. At noon, I want ice cream. In the evening, ice cream again. That's too much. So on the day, actually, I had a topic. I didn't ask our youth members to get rid of all desires. I just say that we wanted to be able to manage our desires. To be able to manage our desires. Yeah. And the food, if you eat properly, that's okay. I'm hungry right now. I hope I can have something to eat. That's normal. It's a kind of desire. Actually, if you use it, find some food, that's okay. How about if I see this food is delicious, I want more and more. Overeating. We eat too much. We cannot control our desires on food. Then that's trouble. Okay. Mixed desires, and sometimes causes troubles, sufferings. Okay. So there are two kinds of desires. One is good desires. We need to cultivate those good desires. According to Buddha's teaching, actually, when a person who has good desires is going to help this person to cultivate his diligence. Because I have this will, this kind of a wish. So I wanted to put a lot of effort on this that will promote diligence. Without desire, sometimes we don't have diligence. So today, the first mental formation that we need to know is desires. Okay, and in this mental formation category, the contents sometimes we can think that just like a fire, those abilities just like fire. You can use fire for cooking, but also if the fire is out of control, it's going to burn the house. Okay, so this is the first mental formation in this category. These five mental formations basically can be good, can be negative. Okay, the desire is the first one. Okay. The second one is profound understanding. I believe many of you have heard these terms, profound understanding, deep understanding, not superficial understanding. And sometimes in English, maybe people will translate into another word, determination. Okay. Profound understanding, according to this book, explaining this mental formation, the Venerable Sri Ramati, An Hui, Venerable An Hui, he said, profound understanding, if this understanding relate with the understanding of impermanence, selflessness, the universal law of cause and effect, those are good, profound understanding. If the understanding against those truth, those things, then we don't consider this profound understanding is positive. Okay. So profound understanding, sometimes, if the way we understand, the way we contemplate is wrong, of course, the deeper, the worse. Okay. Do you know that in this world, some people, they are very intelligent. They think a lot. Yeah. Do you know that about 1600 or 1700 years ago, in China, we had a philosopher. His name is Fan Zhen, Mr. Fan. He's a philosopher. And he tried to explain life. Where do we come from? Yeah, what happened to us in the future? And he was a very, very highly educated person, scholar. He wrote articles to explain his understanding about life. When we study his articles, he said, life coming from nowhere. There's no causes for life. Life just like a leaf from the air, dropping from the tree and floating on the river and following the water. Whenever there is some bushes stop this leaf, the leaf will stop for a while. Whenever the water is rushing, quick, then the leaf will flow fast through certain channel. Finally, the leaf will disappear. No more life in the future. That was the way he explained life. Coming from nowhere, going to nowhere. Life is very short, just for a moment. This is a profound understanding. Because through his thinking, are you going to agree with him? Yeah, we have to think carefully. We have to think carefully. Life is still a mystery for many of us. We try to find out the facts. Okay? And so profound understanding, deep understanding, doesn't mean always correct. Just because this person who's thinking a lot, very intelligent, well educated, so he can create a lot of thinking in this way. So profound understanding. But in Buddhism, according to this book, if we think everything according to the phenomena of impermanence, selflessness, then basically this profound understanding will bring benefits to us. Okay. The third mental formation is mindfulness. We hear this word all the time. Okay, mindfulness. Okay, and what is the meaning of mindfulness? What is the meaning of mindfulness? Yeah, and basically, in my understanding, I feel there are a few definitions that we can have. The first one is be able to remember. Be able to remember what we have seen, we have heard. As a Buddhist, I wanted to remember Buddha's teaching correctly. So mindfulness related with memory. Be able to remember. Oh, I'm a very diligent. I go to this place, go to that place. Listen from different teachers. I listen. I read, but somehow I cannot remember. There's no mindfulness. It's useless. Because after listening, then you forget everything. It's useless. So in Buddhism, we feel it's important to have mindfulness. Mindfulness related with memory. It's better to remember what we have learned, what we understand. So as a Buddhist, we wanted to understand Buddha's teaching correctly, not wrongly. And this is the first meaning of mindfulness. The second meaning of mindfulness simply means you wanted to remember what is your daily practice. What is your daily practice? I wanted to meditate 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. During meditation, I wanted to observe my breath only. You remember the technique, the procedure that you wanted to practice. That is also the meaning of mindfulness. Okay. Another meaning of mindfulness is be able to remind yourself, be in the present moment. Are you in the present moment? Sometimes we are listening to someone, but the mind is out of somewhere. That means we're not in the present. We are not in the present. We are not in Guanyin sometimes. Yeah. We are thinking on something. Okay, maybe about yesterday's subjects, maybe about tomorrow. Not in the present. Okay. And finally, according to Venerable Nagasina's teaching, he says, mindfulness is the ability to remember positive, happy, joyful, beneficial experiences, not negative experiences. Some people, they always think about the negative experiences in their life. That's not good. Yeah. If you are thinking miserable things all the time, it's difficult to be happy. Okay. So be able to remember positive experiences. I wanted to, show my appreciation for what you have done for me yesterday. I appreciate. I wanted to show my happiness to you. Okay. Remember something that is positive. Okay. Those are 4 meanings of mindfulness. Okay. But be careful. When we talk about mindfulness, we don't want it to develop our wrong mindfulness. Is that right? Wrong mindfulness. Later, I'm going to use the Eightfold Path terms to remind everyone that we have to put the word right in front of all of those terms. Okay? Yeah. The 4th one is a samadhi. Samadhi. Samadhi is a term in Sanskrit or Pali that means concentration. Be able to concentrate your mind. So concentration is a stage of mind. A stage of mind. Mindfulness supports samadhi. Mindfulness supports concentration. Do you know why? Because during the practice, if you remember your practice, if you say, during meditation, I'm going to count 1 to 10, numbers only from 1 to 10, not overcounting, not losing the count at number. Okay. If you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Continually without mistake, without interrupt this kind of counting. That means you have a very good mindfulness. Mindfulness is ability to remember your practice and also to maintain what you wanted to do. For many Chinese Buddhists, sometimes we chant Aum Tofo. If you can do this, Aum Tofo, Aum Tofo, Aum Tofo, Aum Tofo, continually, no other thoughts, there is mindfulness. This mindfulness will produce concentration later on. Samadhi concentration depends on mindfulness. Without mindfulness, it's difficult to achieve concentration. Okay, and all right, the last one is it's difficult. I try to search another term in English, but somehow it's difficult to find. Even in Chinese, we translate this formation phenomenon by using the word hui, wisdom. Hui, wisdom. Okay. So in English, I thought maybe intelligence. Okay. But it's not that correct. Okay. For this formation, basically it means the ability to choose, to select, 抉择, 选择. Okay, over here, this is apple, this is banana. Okay, which one do you want to choose? Be able to choose. Okay, you make decision. I wanted to choose apple, or I wanted to choose banana. Make decision to choose. We call this 慧. So perception correct so many informations from outside. Oh, this is your name. That is your okay. Your voice. I try to remember your name. I try to understand, to remember, your words. And after I collect all those informations in mental formation, we need to have ability, be able to use it, make choices. Okay. Today I wanted to talk to you. Tomorrow I will talk to you. So you are doing something with informations, with all kinds of perceptions in your mind. Even in Chinese translation, when we talk about wisdom, we put wisdom into three categories. The wisdom of enlightenment, that is the perfect wisdom. This wisdom is related with the Buddha's stage. That means perfect understanding, the wisdom of Buddha. So in this book, actually, it mentioned that if we contemplate on 5 skandhas, impermanence, the universal law of cause and effect, the facts of interdependency, we can develop right view, the wisdom to achieve nirvana, the wisdom to achieve enlightenment. So this is a kind of wisdom that we wanted to get. At the same time, there are some kind of a wisdom related with certain practices. Sometimes it's not correct understanding, but they make decision to choose. If you study Indian history or even Buddhist history, probably you are going to discover that after Buddha became a monk, he went to forest for 6 years. During those 6 years, he joined a group of practitioners. They practice self-modification. It's a right word, self-modification. That means when you are hungry, you don't eat. You wanted to fast yourself. Okay. When you are cold, you don't wear any clothes. You wanted to expose your body in all kinds of a condition. Okay. And some people, they even hang themselves in the tree or soaking in the water because they believe we all have bad karmas. Bad karmas will produce sufferings in life. In order to get rid of those bad karmas slowly, I wanted to use extreme way, extreme practice to make myself suffer in order to clean myself. That was the concept of self-modification. Did I explain clearly? Okay, in this part? Okay, instead of we have air conditioning over here, instead of we can sit in the cushion to talk, let's make suffer for our body. Let's go to the sun and sit underneath. Let's soak in the cold water or any temperature. Okay, don't eat. Okay? Don't wear clothes. All kinds of way to make your body suffer. In those days, actually, so many practitioners, they believe in this. They can cleanse their negative karmas. They can purify themselves. According to this book says that this wisdom is wrong wisdom. It's not follow reasons. So the reason must follow, the wisdom must based on reasons. If there's no reason, then this is not the correct wisdom. Okay, the last one is ordinary wisdom, worldly wisdom. Sometimes follow reasons, sometimes not. My body actually has a problem with high cholesterol. From genetic, because when I was about 20 some years old, I checked my blood. Even I'm a vegetarian, but I have high cholesterol in my body. And I try to study what is cholesterol. And some doctors say, you need to take medication for this purpose. Okay. After I took medication for some years, recently some people say, don't worry about cholesterol. Yeah. And they have different view. And recently, a member from Hong Kong, they sent me some information about cholesterol. Don't eat the kind of drug, don't take the drug, okay? And there are different kind of reasons. Sometimes, I don't know, it's reasonable or not. So today's life is very complicated. Even, should we drink milk or not? I don't know, yeah. Some people say, don't drink milk. Some people say, at least 1 glass a day. Which one do you want to listen? And finally, I end up, by having this attitude. When I feel I wanted to have some milk, let me have some milk. When I feel that I don't want to have milk, no milk. Yeah, I just feel that I sometimes follow the natural feelings. Yeah, because I cannot find reasons at all today, because there are different reasons. Yeah, maybe some reasons are very, what should I say, that useful. Maybe some reasons may not be useful. Yeah, everything's changing in this today's world. Yeah, especially when you go to the internet and watch YouTube, informations. I feel we have to be careful. Some are coming with reasons, but some are not. Okay. For example, do you agree that as a common person, as a normal person, every one of us, it's good to cultivate our loving kindness and compassion. Is it right? Okay, I do agree with this. Okay, because I feel in my personal experiences, if I cultivate my loving kindness, compassion in daily life, I feel I enjoy my life more. At least that I don't want to hurt others in order to create a lot of hatred in my life. But after 9/11, when those buildings in New York collapsed, then not very long, I flew from Houston to, I don't know, to somewhere via Chicago airport. Then I was waiting for next flight at the airport. Then I went to a bookstore. I bought a New Yorker newspaper. I wanted to read and learn English. use this opportunity to read something and also understand the news, what's going on in the States. When I turned the second page, I discovered there was an article. It says, today in America, talking compassion is not popular anymore because we have fear inside us. We have anger inside us. We need to do something about those terrorists. Okay. So the article actually mentioning that today in America, we wanted to use some action to deal with those terrorists. At the same time, we wanted to abandon compassion. Talking compassion is not suitable today. Talking compassion is useless today. Even when I joined another meeting with other temple's monks in a meeting, one Vietnamese Buddhist monk, they mentioned this to us. Oh, today be careful. When we talk about compassion, somebody will, what do you call it? 反抗是怎么说？反抗 ，rebel， rebelled. They don't like this word. At the time, I was a little puzzled. If I believe cultivate compassion or loving kindness is right, with reasons there, why we abandon our loving kindness and compassion because of this instinct without proper reasons. Okay. So sometimes as a human being, according to this book, human beings change their mind all the time. Sometimes reasonable, sometimes not reasonable. Okay. For this part, for this formation, according to Venerable An Hui, he says, as a Buddhist, when we wanted to develop our wisdom, the real wisdom, to achieve enlightenment, we need to follow reasons. Okay, the truth of impermanence. Okay, the law of cause and effect, the interdependency phenomena. Okay, find out those reasons. Let me use a few minutes. Okay. To refresh our mind. Today, I mentioned 5 mental formations to you. The first one is desire. Okay. How about the second one? Profound understanding. Okay. The third one, mindfulness. The fourth one, concentration, samadhi. Okay. The last one, wisdom. Okay. Then I want you to remember that when we think about Eightfold Path, how can we match Eightfold Path with those 5 mental formations? When we have desire, we need to remember right action, right effort. When we have desire, we need to remember right action, right effort in order to manage our desire. Yeah. So I want you to put them together. When we have desire, I wanted to remember right action, right effort. Okay. Then when we have a profound understanding, we need to remember right thinking, right thinking. So it's important for us to know Eightfold Path is always related with right. Yeah, we remember that when we have a profound understanding, we need to have right thinking. Okay. When we have mindfulness, we need to match our mindfulness with right mindfulness. Right mindfulness, not just mindfulness. Right mindfulness. When we have samadhi, when we have a concentration, I also remember to match concentration with right concentration. What is wrong concentration? I did mention this long time ago. You only have concentration, no contemplation. That is wrong concentration. You are able to concentrate. Your mind can be steady, not thinking on different subjects, but no ability to contemplate, to observe. That is wrong concentration. Be careful for this part. Okay. Wrong concentration means you have a concentration, at the same time you are able to contemplate, be able to use your mind. Finally, the wisdom, we wanted to match with right view. Okay. So as long as we have a right view, definitely we're going to develop the real wisdom to achieve enlightenment. Before I conclude my talk, I wanted to mention one sutra to you. Have you ever heard a sutra in this title? The metaphor of arrow. Arrow? Arrow. The metaphor of arrow. Shita, do you need to move to the front? No, okay. The metaphor of arrow. 箭，射箭的箭，譬喻的喻，箭喻经。用箭来做一个譬喻啊，用射箭啊。The metaphor of arrow. When Buddha was in India, that was a true story. There was a monk who joined the monastic life for some years. He practiced meditation, listened to the Buddha, and one day he went to see Buddha and said this to Buddha. Buddha, after I joined the Sangha, I never heard that where do we come from? Where the lives come from? You never explain. If you continue, no explanation for this, then I'm going to disrobe myself and go home. I don't want to become a monk. He was a very interesting person, Yeah. Then Buddha asked this monk, when you became a monk, did you ask me to answer this question when you became a monk? No, I did not. So it's not my responsibility to answer this question for you, okay, at the time, until today. Then Buddha said, if you really wanted to understand this question, today I wanted to explain the answer in this way. Buddha said, a hunter who went to forest for hunting, but somehow he shot by another person, and another person's arrow shot him. Oh, there was a poison arrow. They rushed him back to the village. Then went to the doctor. Then the doctor said, okay, let me operate on you. And I took out the arrow because it's poison. I have to clean your wound. And as soon as possible. Somehow this patient said, doctor, no, wait. Before you pull my arrow out, I wanted to study who shot me. What is his name? Where he lives? Then I wanted to understand what kind of material, of this arrow. Is it bamboo or wood? or other materials? And also, what kind of poison is this? So I have to study everything clearly before allow you remove the arrow from my body. Not for so long, he passed away. Buddha actually used this metaphor to explain whenever people ask this question, where do we come from? Because as a human being, we all wanted to know, where do we come from? We try to understand the truth, the facts, the real, phenomenon of lives. But according to Buddha's teaching, Buddha actually mentioned that there are some questions Buddha did not want to really pay attention to or giving direct answers. Because as human beings, there are some obstacles for us to understand the facts. Based on my own study, why we wanted to ask, where do we come from? Actually, this is related with the idea of time. So later in this mental formation category, there's another mental formation that is a time concept, time idea. We have this idea. Anything we see, anything we touch, anything we want to know, we wanted to have a time idea related with this information. We wanted to have a space idea related with this information. So when you write news report, they always ask you when this happened, where this happened, who was this person. A lot of questions, but basically time and space, deeply rooted in our mind. Anything that we have in mind, we wanted to relate those subjects with time and space. But actually, we wanted to study what is time. Time is a duality phenomenon. Actually, we cannot say time is real. What is time? Okay, look at the clock. Over here, it's 17th. Okay, how about in New York? Yesterday, I was in New York. When I flew, to Houston yesterday, I have to adjust my time. What is the real time in the world? No real time at all. Without the sun, without the moon, without moving objects, there's no time exist. So it's interesting for us to go deeper to develop certain understanding to find out why we ask this question. Because we are always related with time idea. It doesn't matter how we answer the question, you are continue to follow, to ask the next. Okay, who created us? Okay, a supreme being created us. Then we ask, who created the supreme? Okay, so there are more questions. In 1979, I was in New York, upstate. I was walking on the road. And a gentleman drove the car, stopped, then talked to me. Where do you come from? Who are you? I'm a Buddhist monk. Oh, can I talk to you someday? Yes, you're welcome to come to my place. So one day he came. Then we talk. He's a white gentleman. After we talked for some time, then he asked this question. In Buddhism, did Buddha answer where does life come from? Where does life come from? I told him, I said, the Buddha never answered this question in his life. Then he said, Buddha is smart. Shakyamuni Buddha is very smart. He's a smart teacher. It's better not to answer. Then I said, why? Because we answered the question, so we are in trouble. he's a son of a minister. He told me his father is a minister, and working in the church. Because today, even though you answered it, but still there are questions coming to you. He said he admired Buddha. It's better not to give any answer to this question because it's endless question. Yeah. So today, I just wanted to point out this this sutra to you, and also refresh your thinking. Try to think deeply. Develop our profound understanding about life, not just stay on the superficial level. Okay. And one day, if we have a chance, I hope that we can discuss this part more. As a Buddhist, Buddha always reminds us, who are you? How do you feel right now? If you feel happy, you are good, you are okay. If you feel you are not happy, then find the way to be happy and get rid of those sufferings. So Buddha always tries to remind us, observe the present moment, cherish every moment that we can use to better ourselves, to purify ourselves, and to fulfill, what we need for our needs. Okay.